great movie that'll make. What are you going to write about that? Well, I just might write about something that happened to my family a long, long time ago. Way back in 1941, my parents, my mom told me about it, and my family still talks about it. Wow, what happened?
Yeah, that's a long time ago. What happened?
Well, it was back this money my great-great-great-grandmother was supposed to get. Like the lottery? No, not like the lottery, like an inheritance, you know, when somebody dies. You know they leave money, well, sort of like that, I think.
How much money? $1 million?
No, not $1 million. This was the olden days. There wasn't as much money back then. But it seemed like a lot to them.
Well, my allowance doesn't seem like a lot to me even now.
Well, go on. What happened? Well, it was my great-great-great-grandmother and my great-great-great-grandpa were living with my great-great-grandmother and her family at that time. Her name was Elizabeth, just like me. I'm named after her.
Okay, tell us what happened.
Yeah, what happened? Well, from what I remember, it was sort of like this. We were living in a really
That's really
crazy
different.
house.
What was the last line?
Thanks.
What was the last line?
She says it was like this. Another time I
I
had
have an extra script if you want.
I can give you a scoop.
Here, I have one right here.
Okay.
Black and white, black and white.
We're not going up. All right, so everybody, they're ready. The audience is here, they're seated. Then the lights fade. Music fades. Then the side lights come up. Back.
Oh my God, can you stand her? No.
She has got some nerve.
I'm gonna give you 15 seconds straight and 5 more snap sheets just to make your vacation miserable.
No, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Here we are at the beginning of our spring vacation. And Mrs. Allen gave us homework. Homework.
Whoever heard of homework on school vacation? Man, that makes me mad. She's just trying to ruin our lives. She thinks we have nothing better to do but homework. Right, Beth?
Well, yeah, but there isn't much you can do about it. It makes me so mad. I had all these plans for vacation. Now what am I going to do? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to forget all about it until next Sunday and have a good vacation. You can't do that, Sue. You have to write a paper, a 5-page paper. You can't write a paper in one night. Want to bet? My brother does that. He saves all his homework till the last minute.
It has to be something about your family. Something that happened to your family or someone in your family.
I might write about my little brother. I can write all about his jerky. He thinks it's funny to hide my stuff. Everything I say. And whenever we get in fights, I get blamed because I'm older and should know better. And I always have to wash the dog, walk the dog, and wash the dishes. And he doesn't have to do anything.
I wish I could think of something to write about. I don't know anything fun about my family. They're boring, so boring. We never do anything interesting. We go to school, or go to work, or go to church. That's about it. I can't think of anything that would be good. I'll call it The Dull, Boring Life of Ellen Jones.
What a great movie that'll make. What are you going to write about that? Well, I just might write about something that happened to my family
Mike, we could have a little bit of music there to get him off the stage. Can you see? See his light over there? And then the lights.
This is such fine work. I really ought not to be doing it. Elizabeth said it should go to an expert, but I said no. It's very old and very precious. Hubert, will you please stop listening to those desperate police calls? Makes me so nervous. What do they say?
Woman got her purse snatched down on Main Street.
Oh, no, don't tell me. Living alone as I do in a house full of precious old things.
You don't live alone. You live here.
Well, just temporarily, so to speak. But I do love Old River Street, and I miss my own house and my lovely old things.
Why don't you live there, eh, Lorette?
It doesn't heat. And after all, although I've always said I would never live in my daughter's house, never, no.
This ain't your daughter's house.
Never. No matter how sweet Elizabeth and Ralph are, houses. What did you say?
Said this ain't Elizabeth's house. This is my house.
Well, yes, but I suppose you willed it to Ralph.
I ain't dead.
Now, Hubert, you know if it weren't for this terribly cold weather, I'd much rather be in my own house. But the expense.
Don't cost so much to fix up a furnace.
Yes, it does. I can't understand why piping is so expensive. It seems such a common thing. Dear Elizabeth has hinted that maybe some of Aunt Jo's money, but I said no, she was not to think about that.
Hello.
Oh, Mercedes, where have you been, dear? You look fresh and rosy.
I've been sorting mice with Miss Murdoch.
Mice? Sorting mice?
Certainly. We segregate the ones that have reacted, and then we observe them.
Mercy, does your mother know about this?
What's the matter? It's science, ain't it? Nature, too.
Oh, I know. Once I had a mouse in my house, and it was simply uncanny the way it multiplied.
Oh, one mouse can't multiply.
Oh, you're just being so flattering. Who instructs you, dear, in this sort of thing?
It's Miss Murdoch's own experiment, and she asked me to help her. She's wonderful. She's so objective. Miss Murdoch's dedicated herself to search for truth, and so have I.
That's nonsense.
I should say it is.
You don't mean nonsense like I mean nonsense.
I was just trying to agree.
Granddad,
I'd like to know why not.
because you can't.
Huh. Well, that's a scientific remark, all right.
That man is so
Where's
exasperating.
Mother?
Your mother's taking Irene Oliver downtown. Although how she expects a guest from New York to enjoy our shopping area, but it's hard to know what to do with an old school chum.
I hope they're not still reminiscing. Honestly, the stuff Mother retains.
Such nice girls Miss Paxton had. Everything, you know, except horseback riding was extra. Elizabeth never finished. She got married the next year, and it kind of showed that any more education would have been more or less wasted.
Graham, listen. Miss Murdoch asked me to work with her at Everhart Labs in Chicago.
But Chicago?
It'll cost just board and room. Miss Murdoch says $18 a week.
Not very nourishing, I'm certain. Well, while I won't interfere, your father can ill afford it.
But Mother's getting her legacy tomorrow.
Not Aunt Joe's money. Oh, my dear. Get used to that. Never.
Where's the fire, Granddad?
Dakota Avenue District.
Going?
Not worth it. Unless there's more than one alarm. Chimney fire, most likely.
Bells. Get that, Mercy, quick.
Probably for Vita.
I know. I vowed the next time I would say that she was
Oh, don't you bother, Miss Stiles. Probably for me. Hello. Oh, yeah, Carrie. What's on your mind?
Chimney fire.
Choir practice tonight. Say, that's short notice. I don't know if I can. Yeah, but we got a house guest. That's 7 for dinner. Dishes will be heavy. Well, we don't get no bread and butter plate when we're alone. Okay. There's a land that I've heard of once. Well, dinner 6:30 tonight.
That's extremely early, Vita.
Yeah, but the minister's wife's got her gallbladder out, so it's choir practice tonight. This is no place for your junk, Lady Jane.
Hang it up, Vita.
Hang it up, Vita, please. And don't put your feet on that there sofa. Where is the sofa? Hello? Oh, yeah. Hold on a minute. Jennifer!
Yes?
Must she shout?
Telephone!
She could go upstairs.
For me? Is it a man?
It's him, all right.
Hello?
Where's your grandpa?
This is Jennifer.
Don't know why I ask. He's always on the same porch.
No, Mother has the car. But I can take the bus. Well, then you take the bus. All right, Andy. I'll meet you at the corner in 15 minutes. Okay, bye.
Pretty spry, the sleepless wonder.
You would have get put in my room.
I'm not the only one who's aware. Comes you and Dawn don't fraternize with the milkman so loud.
Mother?
Naturally. Ugh.
What's this?
Nothing, Graham. Mother seen Dad?
Oh, sometimes I think you girls don't know how to speak your thoughts all the way through.
What I meant to say was, has Dad come in yet?
No, not yet. Perfectly ridiculous, this fishing. It isn't as if we get to eat the fish. Vita won't cook fish. Although I'm not so sure I would eat a fish caught in the winter time. Or is that oysters?
Oh, there's the bus. Going down.
I wish his family had another car. Maybe when Mother gets her
Don't
legacy.
go promoting that now. Why not?
So if we don't get no olive oil, we can't have French dressing, and Mr. Ralph ain't gonna stand for no mayonnaise.
What's to eat, Vita?
Oh, don't you get into that cake now. Aren't you going down to the corner anyhow for your paper?
Nope.
Well, why not? You always do.
It's too windy, and it's too far, and I don't feel it.
Huh. If I didn't want no olive oil, he'd be out of here like you couldn't see him for dust. Every night of his life, rain or shine.
Wouldn't go to your married sister. You can run this house to suit yourself, but you can't run me.
Listen, I've been here 19 years, and you ain't gonna find nobody else to do them eggs.
Eggs, Vita, whatever are you talking about?
Eggs in the morning, that's what I'm talking about. It is soft-boiled, 3 5/8 minutes, and I do it too. Even though he don't believe me. Mr. Ralph's gotta be fried. Hers poached. Jennifer's scrambled, and now, as if that weren't enough, I've got to coddle forgive her.
You quit and go to your married sister.
Well, all right, I can go there anytime I have a mind to go. There's a place for me there. Miss Elizabeth, I'm quitting.
Oh, Vida, you're not going to quit again. You quit this morning.
I gotta quit on account of there's no olive oil, and I don't see why he can't, because like as not, he will go down to the corner.
Vida.
Don't happen to be going, all there is to it.
Don't happen, and then he puts them earphones on so we don't have to listen to no reason.
Vida, you're not going to leave me over a little olive oil, are you?
I don't want to leave you, Miss Elizabeth. I know you think a lot of me.
Of course I do. Vida's been with me for 19 years through thick and thin, and some of it's been pretty thick.
What in the world was that?
Dad here is the oldest living volunteer fireman. They give him his own alarm. If we ever have a fire, we'll be the first to know it.
How nice. Oh, choir practice tonight. Dinner 6:30.
Also alarm.
Oh, it's sweet. Vida,
Oh,
Mercy, take Irene's coat and take the things she has up to Grandma's room.
thank you, Mercy.
Mother, I got you your woolies. But the undervests don't have long sleeves. I'm sorry. Mother can feel a draft before it happens. And I tried to match your yarn. If it doesn't this time, they give up. And here's your time.
Do you get many interesting programs, Mr. Cherry?
Don't listen to programs.
Dad likes shortwave.
It ain't all short waves. Special news. Floods. Earthquakes.
Oh.
Listen. Don't look.
Dad, I'm sorry Vita's been at you over a little olive oil. She shouldn't do that. My, it's blowing a gale out there.
Oh, this a gale?
I do, and that walk to the corner's no joke.
It ain't so far.
Well, and that's quite a hill. I don't blame you for not wanting to climb that hill. Don't you stir. You stay right where you are.
Won't if I don't want it.
That's right.
Ain't much of a hill.
Now, Elizabeth, I don't want to make a fuss, but my medicine glass is never where I leave it. Vida is always moving my glass.
Mother, Sal, I'll tell her you don't have to go. I'll tell her.
No, I'll do it myself. I don't want to be any bother.
This is quite a household.
Well, there seems to be more of us than there really are. Irene, are you comfortable in Mercy's room? I know it smells a little like a morgue. They cut up cats at school and she brings home samples.
Never mind. It's so nice just to be here. After all, it's been so many years. Look, Betty, how about driving out to Paxton Hall?
Oh yeah, it'd be fun to see the old school.
Now, Elizabeth, you may think what you like, but I know Vida deliberately. Now, I've taken this one, but I want you to...
I will. I'll tell her. And if she breaks this one, it's the set.
You'll excuse me, Irene. I usually lie down before dinner. I'm not very well.
I think you look splendid, Mrs. Stiles.
Oh, yes? I was just saying that the Carpenters do know how to grow old gracefully.
You weren't.
Warren, what?
Weren't saying any such thing. Tain't true either.
What?
Hey, Elizabeth, how big a can of olive oil do you want?
Oh, I think a pint will do.
No.
No?
Well, I better make it a quart.
I don't know how you bear with him. Oh, but if this is Hubert Cherry's house, ladies...
Now, Mother, you know it's only his house when somebody says it isn't. You know that.
Oh, yes, well, I'm adaptable. I've always been adaptable. But if you would like to lend me some... now, I don't mean a gift, dear. doesn't.
No! Mother, she doesn't need Aunt Joe's money. You guys sent me to Chicago with that.
That's Miss Murdoch. And I'm bound to say she's too young to have mice.
You said you wouldn't interfere.
Mercy. Well, if there's anyone who minds her own business better than I do.
I know, dear. You gonna go lie down now?
Yes, I guess I will. Yeah, I think you're right. The easiest thing in the world to become an egg. But I'm adaptable. I'll take fried, but I won't digest.
Well, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I don't want any trouble. I've never been in any trouble.
Miss Oliver, you're a career woman,
If keeping one jump ahead of the style trend is a career,
and you've got to help me convince Mother is to work at Everhart Labs in Chicago this summer. The most important thing in my life. I thought you'd understand.
You ought not to upset your grandma. Besides, we have time if it's not till summer.
If my life's work is of no interest to you,
Of course it's of interest to me. But we have some time. We'll talk about it later.
how can I face Miss Murdoch and tell her my mother is hesitating?
But Mercy, I have to think about it. I can't just say yes offhand.
You could if you cared.
But dear, I do care.
Do not, or you wouldn't be so discouraging.
Mercy.
isn't she pretty intense about the science?
Could be the science, or it could be a crush on Miss Murdoch. I must make an appointment to talk to her.
What does her father think about it?
Oh, I don't think he ever said. When he isn't at work, he likes to fish.
I should think he'd be the one to talk to her teachers.
Oh, Ralph feels if the public school system lets him alone, he'll let it alone, you know?
Look here, Betty. What's this I keep hearing about a legacy?
Oh, my Aunt Joe's money. She liked me and didn't want anyone else to have it.
How much is it?
$1,500. Isn't that a nice round sum?
My, won't you have a wardrobe?
Do you know what would happen to me if I got loose in a store with all that money? Do you know where I'd end up? Kitchen utensils. Betty! I know, it's terrible.
Hello.
Hello.
Going out, dear.
I'm meeting someone. I'll be back for dinner.
Who is it you're meeting? Charlie Adams?
No, Mother.
Jennifer. Excuse me, Irene.
Of course.
It's Andy Blaine you're meeting, isn't it?
How did you know?
Well, I heard the car come in at 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, Mother, I know it was late and I had the car, but Andy hasn't got a car.
I don't care about the car.
I know what you want to say. You don't want me to be seeing Andy anymore. Well, I'm going to be seeing him. And if you tell Dad and there's a row, next time I won't come home at all.
Jenny.
I'll miss the bus. He's on it.
Fine. Ask him to get off and come in a minute.
Why?
So I can talk to him. I gotta talk to one of you and you won't listen.
Well, you wreck everything.
Well, unless I talk to Andy Blaine myself, I'll have to talk to Dad about this.
That's pretty rotten.
Well, maybe it is, but you're not being reasonable, and I'm worried about you.
Well, I don't ask you to be. All you think about is safety. Lots of things are more important.
Jenny, he's older. He's been married and divorced. All right, I know, I've said it all before. But, all I want to do is meet him. Is that too much to ask?
All right, I'll bring him in.
Thank you.
But you don't know what you're doing. He doesn't give a darn about me. Or only a little darn. Don't make it any harder.
You make it very hard for me.
It's just the loosest thread. And it's so awfully terribly thin. And my heart hangs on it. What are you trying to keep me safe from? Safe from happiness? Safe from joy?
Jenny.
I've got to go. He'll be waiting.
She'll get over that, won't first love,
But it won't be her last. Yeah, it's not so funny when it's my Jennifer.
Who is this Andy Blaine?
I hardly know him.
Miss Elizabeth, you got company.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Harriet. How nice of you to stop in.
I was just going by.
Well, let me take your coat.
No, indeed, I can only stay a moment. Good afternoon, Miss Albert. Enjoying your stay? Fine. Elizabeth, I find I have an appointment on the books. I want you to take the documents
When?
on Thursday.
Next Thursday. I don't know that I can.
Miss Albert, I hope you will enjoy it.
I'm sure I will.
Elizabeth, how is our collaboration going?
Oh,
Is the speech taking form?
well, I'll make a note of it now. You said you wanted 2 or 3 quotations.
Oh, yes, dear, a quotation or two on my fingertips. They add so much.
You're making a speech, Mrs. Gilpin?
Harriet makes speeches all the time. Why, they couldn't lay a cornerstone and have it rest easy without a speech from Harriet.
But I couldn't do it without Elizabeth's help. She's so clever.
She always was.
By next Wednesday?
By next Wednesday.
Oh, is Ralph home yet?
No,
Our husbands are fishing. My husband is president of the bank. I say the bank because there's always is a bank. But he plays hooky.
So I hear. And they spend the night?
Absurd, isn't it? At 1 o'clock at night, when my husband would come home to his good bed, he'd rather go to Ralph's boat. Men are such boys. I really must fly.
oh, bless you, I'm sorry. Oh,
Hello.
Ralph, you're home early.
Yep, I'm early.
Ah, Ralph, this must mean Leonard's home.
He's home.
Well, I really must fly. Au revoir.
Just a minute. Where'd you get the idea that I was a buddy of Andy Blaine?
You speaking to me.
Yes. What's the idea of stirring up Leonard so I can't get my loan?
What loan, dear? I don't understand.
Get a loan along about this time every year, and all of a sudden Leonard says I can't get it.
Well, you can't. Why not?
Because Harriet here cooks up some yarn about a secret partnership between me and Andy Blaine. I want to know what the idea is.
Everyone knows he's nothing but a common adventurer. This Andy Blaine, he married my niece 2 years ago. There's been a divorce. Poor Adelaide.
Never mind Adelaide. What's the idea of stirring up Leonard and telling him I'm hooked up with Blaine?
Oh, what does Andy Blaine have to do with it anyway?
I can put 2 and 2 together. First, Andy Blaine went into the bank to get a loan, and then you came into the bank to get a loan. And I saw Andy Blaine sitting in your car.
My car?
Oh, you must be mistaken, Harriet.
You never saw Andy Blaine in any car of mine.
I know the dents in your car as well as I know them in mine.
But for...
Ralph, Harriet's not going to doubt your word. And what will Irene think of us? Harriet, Ralph's a little upset.
But Elizabeth, I'm honored bound to say what I saw.
Well, perhaps, but we must let the men settle it between them. The speech, the outline by next Wednesday.
At the very least.
I'll have it ready.
And we'll have the documents here
On Thursday.
Excellent. And you will have the first one.
Of course. Goodbye, Harriet.
Au revoir, Miss Oliver.
Au revoir.
Damn busybody.
I gather Harriet runs this town.
Single-handed.
She certainly runs her husband.
I'm sorry she's being such a nuisance about the loan. Is it serious?
Serious? It's inconvenient, that's all. Why, I could squirm along for 90 days, but why should I?
That's right. Why should you?
Why, I can't walk into the bank and get it without her butting in.
I know, I'm sorry, but you can't tell Harriet she's butting in.
Me, a sensible, sound businessman mixed up with Blaine and his crazy ideas.
Well, what does Andy Blaine want money for anyway, do you know?
Oh, I don't know, some wild scheme. He's going off somewhere.
He's going off somewhere? Is that what you said?
He wants to.
He won't raise any money in this town if Harriet's down on him, will he?
No, neither will I. Me and Andy Blaine. Don't know him, don't want to know him. Wouldn't have anything to do with Andy Blaine.
I know, I'm sorry. How about a drink?
Hey, how about scotch?
Scotch would be fine.
Oh, I don't
Irene?
Good Lord, no.
Why not? It's great sport. Of course, poor old tub of mine's kind of on its last legs. One of these days, you know, I got my eye on a 26-foot cabin job. A fellow named Loomis wants to get rid of it. Sleeps 4. Are you interested in boats?
No, but I'm interested in hearing about you.
That's so? Why?
Because you're Betty Stiles' husband.
Say the way you put that makes it sound like I'm married to some movie star.
Well, she always meant a lot to me.
Well, she means a lot to me too. Wonderful girl.
But I think all the girls I knew at school, Betty Stiles is the only one who still means something. She was special.
Special? How's that?
She was always clearer in her mind. She had put her finger on that false note. And I was jealous of that. It was the thing that I lacked. That direct quality, that simplicity. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Just the same, she's a wonderful girl.
Well, anyway, I'm glad I came. I wanted to see how Betty was getting on.
Well, here she is. Married, children, happy, doing all right. Wonderful girl. Of course, Elizabeth's far too easy on the kids, I keep telling her. But there are just some things you can't tell your wife. You can talk yourself blue in the face, and it doesn't do any good. Well, it doesn't matter. She's a wonderful girl.
Yep, she is a wonderful girl.
So how come you never got married, Irene?
I don't know. I just didn't. I still have to think for myself and use my own judgment.
Here you are.
Ah, this looks all right.
Ah, hey, thanks. Where's yours?
Oh, I don't like it. Maybe that's why I don't remember the soda. Catch any fish, dear?
Measly half dozen. Leonard's got them.
It's the most peculiar arrangement, Irene. Ralph catches lots of fish. I like fish. My family likes fish, but we gotta cook fish. Ralph! Irene hasn't seen your stuffed kingfish.
You haven't?
Where is it?
In the room, hanging on the wall.
You must have seen it.
Oh, but you haven't heard the story that goes with it.
I certainly wouldn't believe that.
Oh, you won't, eh? Okay, you're asking for
Well,
it.
but take a
Come
break.
on.
There's a dry stretch, and don't interrupt, because if you do, he always goes all the way back to the beginning. Every time. Try it and see.
Oh, hey, I thought I was telling the story.
This is Aunt Blaine.
How do you do, Mrs. Cherry?
How you doing, Mr. Blaine? Jen, Dad's here.
Oh,
Does that mean I should fly for my life?
Oh, not at all. Jenny, why don't you go prompt Dad? He's telling Irene the kingfish story. Don't worry, dear. Take 7 minutes by the clock. I'm sure he'll be done long before that. This all must seem rather odd to you, Mr. Blaine, but I'd rather her father not know about her friendship with Jennifer. You kept her out very late last night.
It was extremely thoughtless of me. I won't do it again, I promise.
You're taller than I thought.
Is that all you wanted to say?
Well, not actually. I wanted to meet you for a long time. I met you at your wedding, but you don't remember.
Let's cut corners, shall we? I'll bet you'd like to ask me why my wife divorced me. I'll tell you. We didn't like each other. And I thought it was just kind of silly to go on being married. Now, as to my intentions towards your daughter, you'd like to ask me about those.
Yes, I would like to know just exactly what your intentions are.
All right. She's a sweet kid and fun to play around with. And I believe in having as much fun as possible.
Oh, you believe in having as much fun as possible.
Yes, but don't worry, I won't hurt her.
You wouldn't be able to tell, you see, if you were hurting her or not.
Why wouldn't I?
Your values, they're different.
Values? What's wrong with my values? I'm not making love to her except in the spirit of good, clean fun.
You're just full of fun, aren't you, Mr. Blaine?
Nothing wrong with that, is there? Well, that means you can't take it.
You're a very conceited person, Mr. Blaine. I wish I could say that Jenny could take your love-making quite as lightly as you do. But she's young and full of life, and unfortunately, you hold a kind of glamour for her. She can't see how cheap you are.
Cheap? Not cheap. I'm not giving anything away, but I'm not asking for anything either. People run their own risks, you'll find.
No, I don't understand ruthless people.
Listen, If she's gonna break her little heart, she'll break it. There's nothing you or I can do. Can't you see that?
Oh, that's a smooth, easy thing for you to say. Sounds world-weary. I imagine you like to sound world-weary.
Dear Mrs. Cherry, you two take the whole thing so seriously.
And you don't take anything at all seriously, do you?
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, there was something else I wanted to discuss with you. I understand, you're trying to raise some money.
Trying.
You going off somewhere?
Oh, you've heard about my mad schemes. I want to be a seagoing peddler. I want to swap a yard of calico for a handful of pearls. Maybe even wear a flower behind my ear. I want to charter a schooner and go down and trade in the West Indies.
Sounds too good to be true.
Ah, but this is practical. I know a couple islands off the beaten path where a man can still pick up a couple of dollars. I don't like to know when to get up in the morning or when to eat my lunch or how to live on a budget. I want to earn my living and sail with the weather at the same time. I guess that does sound kind of mad, doesn't it?
Oh, no. I think it sounds like a wonderful idea.
Thank you. Well, those are the first kind words I've heard in this town.
How much do you need?
Only a couple thousand. I can't get it.
A couple of thousand. How about 1,500?
What do you do?
I happen to have some of my own money.
My God,
I will have. Well, why not?
You mean you want to lend me the money or buy in and take a chance?
No, yes, I want to take a chance, and I don't want you to owe me anything. When could you get started?
The second I get my hands on the money, I know where I can get a boat. Say, you're not kidding.
Oh, no, you can have the money. I'm supposed to pick it up tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yeah, you're wonderful.
There's one condition.
Well,
No one must know anything about this. No one.
not even Jenny?
No.
Just as you say, partner.
You promise?
She'll never hear it from me.
All right, then. We'll talk about the details another time. I'll tell Jenny you had to leave.
You're doing a great deal for me in your backhanded kind of way.
That's all right, Mr. Lane.
It is a risk. You may lose your money.
I'll take the risk.
By golly, you're a good egg. See you later. Tell Jenny I said bye.
What?
He kissed me!
What's the matter with kissing you? You're a good-looking woman. Here's your olive oil.
Where's Andy?
Go on.
Mother, what have you said? What have you done?
Jennifer, I didn't
Mother,
say...
if you said anything that ruined this, anything at all, I'll never forgive you, Mother, never. I don't care what you and Dad said. I'm not gonna let you spoil it. I won't.
Jenny! Jenny!
They never did find the anchor.
Who had the nerve to make that one up?
Say, I better change. Laundry starch my shirts again?
No, dear, I called them up, and I spoke to them, and I spoke to the manager, and I told the man when he was here. And what do you think? It worked. Dinner, 6:30.
Choir night?
Yes. You know, Irene, Ralph likes his shirts limp, and it baffles the laundry.
Say, Elizabeth, how would you like to be my bank?
Me?
Yes, I think I'm going to let you lend me $1,000 for 90 days.
What?
Sure, why didn't I think of this before? Aunt Joe's money. Give you 6% too. Leonard can go climb a tree. My wife's an heiress.
Yes, I've heard about that legacy.
Well, how about it?
Well, you know, I was going to blow that.
You weren't going to blow the whole thing, were you?
Well, you said you didn't really need it.
Well, for Pete's sakes, what are you going to buy?
Well, I had no idea you were going to ask me.
What are you going to do with it?
But you said it wasn't serious. That's what you
You're
said.
going to spend the whole thing?
Well, yes.
What for?
I don't want to tell you what for.
What?
I can't.
Well, that's a funny way for you to act. Ask you to help me out, a little loan, that's all. You don't even give me a reasonable excuse.
I haven't got a reasonable excuse.
So you just turned me down cold.
Well, I thought it wasn't going to be mine when I got it. I never in my life had so much money of my own. You don't know what that means to a woman. I'd like to keep it and spend it 1,000 times in my mind.
You haven't got any right to spend $1,500 without the benefit of my advice. You just do some fool thing you'll be sorry for. I hope you won't forget I told you so.
Well, it may be foolish, but nevertheless, I'm going to spend it without the benefit of your advice. And I'm going to spend it all, every cent. And furthermore, I'm going to spend it all tomorrow just like that, right away. Well, I've got my own personal and private reasons for doing what I planned, and I won't change my plans.
What?
Well, you can say whatever you like, and I'm sure you will, but I'm going to spend my money the way I want to spend it, and you can go climb a tree.
Oh, Elizabeth, you can't fool me. You're not going to spend that money on yourself.
Oh, yes, I am.
Why not?
Because I know her too well. A couple of fine conspirators you are.
I don't know a thing.
No, neither do I. You go right ahead, dear, and you spend your own money. Just forget I ever said a thing. I'll get along just fine. Don't worry about me.
And you don't mind?
Certainly not. But when you're making the deal, don't forget. Might have a trade-in. Could be worth $200 or $300. You don't want to throw that away, you know.
Trade-in? What's he talking about? I never said anything about a trade-in.
He thinks you're buying him a new boat.
Oh, no.
That 26-footer he's got his eye on.
Oh, no, this is awful. I promised the money to Andy Glen.
What?
Why? So he'll go away, of course. He's got to go away. And Jenny's beside herself. Well, and I'm afraid for her. I mean, I can disappoint Mercy, and I can get out of Mother's furnace somehow. Ralph, what do I do now?
You'd better explain to Ralph what you're doing.
Well, no, I couldn't. He'd tell me it was foolish, and there'd be a row, and Jenny mustn't know I'm sending Andy Glen away, but he's got to go away because she's beside herself. And it goes around and around.
Betty, how have you got so messed up and sacrificed your personality and your talent?
Talent? I haven't sacrificed anything, and somebody's got to do it. Keep the peace. And it takes all the talent I've got to keep this ranch running.
I see how you keep it running. You soothe, you manage, you coddle, you coax.
Somebody's got to do it.
And you plead, and you scheme, and you tremble. You're not Betty Stiles anymore. You're a loving doormat. They walk all over you. They push you around.
Oh, but don't you see? Things grow up around you. There's a whole texture of 20 years.
Yes, and it makes me furious because they don't appreciate you. They walk all over you. They're taking advantage of you. They take whatever you've got to give them, and you let them. But don't think you're doing them any good. What would happen to them if you weren't here?
Oh, you don't know anything about it. All right, what would you do?
I don't know. But it's got to be something pretty drastic. Let me tell you, Betty Stiles wouldn't have gotten into such a mess. She'd have known what to do.
She would, wouldn't she? But she hadn't been through what I've been through. I know you think I'm soft and weak, and maybe I am.
Don't be a hypocrite. You do it because you think you're strong. You think you can stand things better than they can. But you're making a mistake. You stand between them and every root shot like a sofa pillow. Elizabeth Cherry, you're a fool.
Well, maybe I am.
Elizabeth,
Yes, dear?
there's no hot water.
Oh, the pot stove's gone out again. You want to shave?
I want to take a bath.
Oh, I can start a fire, but it'll take a while.
You gotta have a bath.
Did you tell him 6:30 dinner? Vita, I'll condition it. Where are you going? Now it's dinner time.
They have a 4 in 3 years.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you someplace around. No, tomorrow's my in Sunday. Hey, listen, if you hear anything at all, you be sure and call me, okay? All right.
Vita, have you seen the bus go up or down?
No. Say, that Irene, she sure gets up good and late.
Well, what do you expect? It's her vacation.
What I didn't expect was right off the bat, she orders an omelet.
She said that she never tasted such a perfect omelet.
Yeah? Well, tomorrow everybody's taking scramble.
Oh, Vita, let's worry about that tomorrow. Or maybe we can have buckwheat cakes.
Okay. Say, are you going to that lawyer's to see about your Aunt Joe's money?
Yes.
Well, there's a couple things we could use around
Yeah,
here. That hot
I
stove.
know.
What's the matter, Elizabeth?
Nothing's the matter, Dana. I'm just waiting for the bus.
Well, if you don't want to tell me, just say so. Worry about Jenny?
No, I'm not worried about Jenny.
R2. Scared of that plain boy. Look much I miss. Don't ask me what you ought to do about it, because I ain't going to tell you.
Guess no one can tell me.
I could. Won't, though. You figure on fixing up your mom's furnace any?
No, I can't.
Can't?
Nope. Can't help Mercy either.
Well, can't you can't. Are you going to tell him?
Nope.
Scared? Well, I'll tell him.
No, Dad, no. Ralph,
Trying to do a little something for you, Elizabeth.
what are you doing here?
I thought I'd see if I couldn't run you downtown.
Oh, that's
Say,
really...
wait till I change my
That's,
shirt.
no, dear. I can take the bus. That's fine.
No, I should say not. Say, this is a great day.
Good morning.
She just get up.
Well, I forgot to wake her. You know, if someone doesn't wake her, she just doesn't get up.
You're gonna ruin that kid, Elizabeth.
Ralph, I need to talk to you about her.
Huh? What's the matter?
Well, you know, she's 18,
Yeah, all right, she's 18.
and when they're 18, they think they're in love.
You trying to tell me Jenny thinks she's in love? Who with?
Well, that's the trouble. But you know, there isn't much we can do about it.
Who with? The Adams boy?
No,
Then who?
Andy Blaine.
Andy Blaine? Say, what is this? Every time I turn around, this fellow Andy Blaine pops
It
up.
is a coincidence, isn't it?
So Jenny thinks she's in love with Andy Blaine. Well, she's going to be out of love in just about 3 seconds flat.
Well, it isn't as easy as all that.
Yes, it is. I'm just going to tell her that this has got to stop because I won't have it.
Ralph, you can't do it that way. You've got to be careful.
Careful? You've been too careful. Why don't you get mixed up with a guy like that? Because you've been too easy with it.
Well, if it's my fault, I'm sorry. But I know that's not the way to stop her.
Why not? She's just got to be told, and from now on, I'm going to do the telling. Where is she?
No, Ralph, not now. Please, not now.
Why not now? The sooner the better.
Because you're angry, and when you're angry, you say the wrong things. And besides, you were going to take me downtown.
Oh, that's right. It's getting late. Say, I thought we'd stop off at Loomis's place.
Loomis?
Yeah, it's a 26-foot cabin cruiser.
No,
Well, I thought as long as you're going to get one,
I'm not going to buy you a boat.
Well, whatever you're going to do with that money, I'm going to be there when you get it. And I'm going to give you my advice, whether you like it or not. I'll be right down.
Hello? No, Mrs. Cherry's not home. Who is this, please? Oh, yes, Mr. Blaine. She'll be back shortly, I guess. I'll tell her. Okay, bye.
I'm not going to say another word. What happened
I told her I'd tell you, and I've told you, and now you know.
Alarms! Bells! Oh, I can't stand it. Elizabeth knows I can't stand it. Hello? She's busy.
Who's that?
Nobody.
Why did she pretend she was so sympathetic and then turn on me and betray me?
Oh, Mercy, if I can bear up. Irene, tell her to stop it.
Heavens, pull yourself together, Mercy.
She's still busy.
Now that phone ain't gonna ring 3 times and not one of them be for me. You had no call to interfere with my telephoning, Ms. Stiles. This ain't a convent, and I'm gonna speak to Ms. Elizabeth. Walnut 633.
Well, I certainly hope you do. It's a perfect disgrace the way you monopolize the telephones.
Come on, Mercy.
Hello, Harry.
Look.
Yes, I thought you did. Listen, there's gonna be some trouble around here.
Where's Elizabeth?
Elizabeth's gone.
Gone. I was gonna take her downtown. What's the matter with her?
She wants to go to Chicago.
Chicago?
Listen, I gotta call you back when things simmer down around here. I'm giving my notice.
Well, don't give it to me.
Pity a girl can't use the telephone. What am I, a Christian slave?
Mercy, wouldn't it be more fun to tell me about it?
You wouldn't understand. Nobody understands. Only Miss Murdoch, and she won't understand.
Oh, snap out of it, Merce.
Snap out of it, Merce. When my whole life's work is crashing down around my ears like blossom, what happened?
Look here, young lady, you just get up.
But Dad, I didn't wake up. I can't get up in my sleep. Gran, don't you feel well?
Don't think about me. Don't anybody think about me. I'll just sit here quietly until Elizabeth comes back.
Wonder why she went off like that. Oh, cut it out, Mercy, for God's sake.
Andy,
Hello
come
there.
in. This is the family. I think you know my father. And my sister Mercedes. And Miss Oliver.
How you do?
Oh, sorry, that's my grandmother.
I didn't catch the name.
Well, Mr. Blaine, what can I do for you?
Andy's a friend of mine.
I'll speak to you about that in just a minute.
If I've come here at a bad time, I could...
If you've come to call on my daughter, Mr. Blaine, I'll have to ask you to leave.
Dad,
You go upstairs, Jennifer.
I will not go upstairs.
I'm afraid both of you have the wrong idea. I'm here to see Mrs. Cherry.
Mrs. Cherry?
Is she here?
What's your business with her?
Well, it's with her.
She isn't here.
Then I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll call back later.
To see Mrs. Cherry?
Yeah. So long, Jen. Be good. Oh, excuse me, sir.
Andy!
Jennifer, you come away from that door, get back in here, and sit down.
What's gonna make me?
Say, what did I
Now
miss?
you keep out of this. Now, young lady,
All right,
Keep on what?
I'll come in here and I'll sit down. But what will that mean? I'm not your prisoner.
you'll do exactly as I say, whether you like it or not.
I'll do exactly as I please. What is this, the Dark Ages?
Atta girl.
Dad, if you'll oblige me.
Somebody's gotta get parsley.
Go away.
Say, who you talking to?
I'm just waiting for Mother to say goodbye, and then I'm out of this house.
Yeah?
Forever.
You are not going out of this house.
I wish I was.
Oh, shut up, Mercy. You ain't the main event.
I'm gonna do well.
Nobody gives a darn about me.
Oh, shut up, everybody. I wish Elizabeth would get here.
Come, son.
Elizabeth S. Cherry live here?
Why, yes, of course she lives here. What's wrong?
Okay, lady.
Mother.
Elizabeth?
I don't think the lady feels so good. Her driver's license here somewhere.
Her driver's license?
Yeah, there it is.
She's not hurt.
No, she's not.
Are you all right?
I'm not hurt.
She had a busy spell, I think that's all.
Well, thanks very much, officer. Yeah, but where?
I don't know, but this isn't the right place.
Right place? What are you talking about?
Well, I know I live on River Street, but the house was closed, and he said he'd take me home. I'm Betty Stiles. Do you know me? If my mother isn't here, can you tell me how to get back to Paxton Hall? That's a school. I go there.
Betty Stiles?
Yeah, you know me.
Yes, I know you.
Well, I'm gonna be going along. There's $1,500 in that bag, so watch it.
Oh, no, don't leave me here.
Oh, it's all right. These are your folks, they'll take care of you.
Oh, no. I don't think this is the right place. These can't be my folks. These are such funny people.
Elizabeth, what are you saying?
Betty Stiles.
So what happened? Did you ever remember who she was?
I've seen movies about people who couldn't remember who they were, but they usually got bopped on the head or something. That's weird.
I've seen stuff like this on television. Are you sure you didn't see it on TV? No, it's exactly the way my mom told it to me. Cross my heart and hope to die. Well, go on. What happened? Well, they called the doctor. And the doctor, they called the doctor. They used to come to your house in those days. See, they didn't even have to call 911. The doctor came, so what happened?
Yeah, what did the doctor say?
Tell us. So, see, the doctor, and he started telling me, the lights are supposed to be big.
Yeah, but you kind of got off script.
We did.
They didn't know.
Oh, God. It sounded short. I know. Okay, which parts did we skip?
All right, wait a minute. I'll give them, they don't have a script for this part. Yes, they do.
So what happened? Did you ever remember who she was?
I've seen movies about people who couldn't remember who they were, but they usually got bopped on the head or something. That's weird. Are you sure you're not making this up?
I've seen stuff like this on television. Are you sure you didn't see it on TV? No. This is exact. Cross my heart and hope to die. It's exactly the way my mom told it. Go on. What happened?
You know, now my family sounds more boring than ever. What am I going to write about? Hey! Can I use your story and pretend it's mine?
No, you can't have my story. Get your own story. Ask your mom or your dad or something. They'll probably have a good story for you.
Yeah, but it'll be boring.
Well, what happened?
Yeah,
One
what
time
did
we forgot the doctor part. Yeah, that's nice. They turned it off. Yeah, not yet. Because we missed that whole part, right? Where we got out.
But if you miss the part tomorrow,
Yeah.
the lights go down and you missed it.
We'll
So
just
that's,
missed it.
oh, you want to do it?
Yeah.
All right, do it.
What happened? What did the doctor say?
Before the, why do we do that scene over? No. Because
You gotta tell
you say
the
the
doctor.
doctor. You the doctor first.
What?
Well, you see, they called the doctor. The doctor, they didn't even have, the doctor used to come to your house in those days. He didn't even have to call 911. So the doctor came.
What did
So
the
what
doctor
happened?
say?
Tell us.
Come on, tell us.
Right.
Now the stage is empty, so it's 3:00. And the lights. Wait till they're off.
Yes, but how long do you think? Can't you give me an idea?
No possible way we can tell. She's had a sleep after that sedative, and she's awakened in the same state.
Why does a thing like this have to happen to Elizabeth? Don't you have to get hit on the head or something to lose your memory?
Not necessarily. You see, Mr. Cherry, we are dealing here with fugitive ego, running away from something unpleasant or impossible.
Running away?
Yes. Very often, the ego finds itself in a trap. It says to itself, I can't face this, I can't stand it, I don't like it, I don't want it.
The ego says that?
Oh yes,
Elizabeth's ego?
Certainly.
Oh.
So what happens? The foxy ego finds a simple way out. It forgets. All its problems are gone, wiped out. She needn't face them because she can't remember them. She escapes.
But doggone it, what's she escaping from? She isn't in any trap. We live in one of the nicest houses on Monroe Avenue.
In these cases, the conflict is within. It's emotional.
Well, Elizabeth never was what you'd call emotional.
I refer to love, fear, hunger, to the great primary driving forces of mankind.
Well, she certainly couldn't have been hungry. We live pretty high in this house. I guess that's not what you mean.
No, it isn't. The fact is, we find your wife has fled to her girlhood. We can only assume the conflict did not exist then. Therefore, during the 20 years that are blank.
But those were my 20 years.
Yes.
Say, are you sure nothing hit her on the head?
No.
Ralph, I want you to talk to Vida. Oh, doctor, how is Elizabeth?
Unchanged, Mrs. Stiles.
Oh, such a terrible thing, so upsetting. I don't know why I'm not flat on my back.
Mother's awake? It is amnesia, isn't it, Dr. Hollister?
Definitely, I should say.
I've studied abnormal psychology. I know amnesia's not all uncommon.
Percy, how can you be so modern? To me, it's uncanny. Against nature it is.
Oh, I know. I feel like a piece of moonshine, too. It is creepy.
Oh, it makes one so... Doctor! I think my heart is fluttering.
Probably temporary disturbance in the balance of your ductless glands.
Oh dear. I think I'd better go and take some of my green tonic.
We're like people in a dream, but she woke up.
Cut it out, Mercy. Now, there's nothing you can do to get Elizabeth out of this?
Very little.
Irene, how is she?
She says she wants to come downstairs. May she get up, doctor?
Certainly. The body's not sick.
She says she doesn't like the wallpaper.
The wallpaper in our room? Well, I picked out that wallpaper myself. Elizabeth always said she liked it.
She says it's mustardy.
Mustardy? What does that mean?
Perhaps it reminds her of mustard.
Well, it never reminded her of mustard before.
She doesn't like her clothes either. She's wearing mine.
Doesn't like her clothes. Isn't there something we can do? For God's sake, tell us. We don't know.
Just act normal.
Normal.
Answer any questions she asks, but make no attempt to remind her of the blank period. You might drive the wounded ego still deeper into the past.
Should she have a nurse? Should we give her anything special to eat? Anything in the world she wants, she's going to get.
Mr. Cherry, you do not understand. She's quite well. She just forgets.
Well, for God's sake, that's what I told you when I called you up. You really know something about this?
Well, I have studied it, but of course science is just groping.
That doctor certainly seems to be batting around in a fog. I don't understand.
May I work at your desk, Dad?
Sure.
I can't study in Jenny's room, and I do want to study trying to be normal.
That's right, honey. That's a good girl. Jenny's still upset?
She's calmed down a little. She doesn't understand the scientific background. She just feels bad about Mother.
Now, Mother's going to be all right. Don't you worry.
I know, it's not at all uncommon. It's quite common.
Sure. Could happen to anybody, I guess.
I guess.
Well, all we have to do is act normal. You see my gray sweater around anywhere? I thought I left it down here.
I haven't seen it, but when I think Mother doesn't even know I've been born, and Jenny's 2 years older than Mother, that's not exactly normal.
Don't bother me now. Go away.
Mr. Ralph, will you do me a teeny favor and ask him if he would just turn on the icebox before he goes to bed?
What? Icebox? What?
Well, he's the one who's likely to be up with that radio of his, and I don't think it's such a big deal to just turn one little switch. I want Miss Elizabeth had her appendix out and the kids was small then too? And didn't I run this house all right when you and her went to Bermuda that time? Well, what's wrong with me running this house?
I wish you would run it, and run it quietly.
All right then, you tell that old lady to stay out of my kitchen, because if she's going to go messing around out there, I'm going to have to leave.
Please, Vita, normal, Vita, will you please try to be a big help and keep everything normal? You know Miss Elizabeth isn't herself.
Oh, yeah, I know. And there ain't nobody feels no worse about it than I do. You know, it's better if they're taken when their mind goes.
Her mind's not gone. She just forgets.
Hey, that's how it started with my grandma. And by the time she died, she was as nutty as they come.
She's not nutty. Elizabeth, dear, how do you feel?
I feel extremely well, thank you. Who's that? Is that my mother?
Oh!
That's Vita, dear.
Rita, Vita's the cook, dear.
Come here, darling, sit down. Let me get you a pillow. How's that, comfortable?
No. Is this another doctor?
No, Betty. This one's your husband.
That man is?
Yes. She'll get things straight after a while.
Elizabeth, I'm Ralph.
How do you do?
I'm your husband.
Oh, did I marry you for love?
Why, of course, certainly. We were the happiest.
Oh, goodness, everybody's so emotional.
Just answer her questions.
Oh, I know, but she's,
How much money have you got?
say, I'm no millionaire, but yeah, I've done pretty well. Now look here.
Be careful, Ralph. There's nothing to be upset about.
Yeah, but she,
No, of course not. I'm Irene Oliver.
Irene Oliver. Yes.
I came here to visit you.
Well, that's nice. I think I have you two straight now. Is this a boarding house?
No, dear. This is where you live.
hello? No, this is her father. What is it? Oh, hello, Charlie Adams.
Charlie Adams. Who's Charlie Adams?
Sure, I'll tell Jennifer. Yes, I'll tell her to be ready. Okay, goodbye.
Hello.
Who's that?
That's your daughter, Jennifer.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with you, but that's just silly. She's awfully pretty. I think I ought to be told who her father is.
That's Father.
That man is?
Look, Jenny, Mother's all right. Just act normal. That's all we have to do.
Okay. Oh, Graham's collapsed. I think someone ought to go check on her.
I'll go, Ralph.
Thanks, Irene.
I think I can deal with her.
Charlie Adams is coming over to take you for a drive.
Well, I'm not going.
Who's Charlie Adams?
He's just a silly boy.
He's not a silly boy.
Well, is he or isn't he? What's the matter with Charlie Adams? Don't you like him?
No, Mother. There's another man, Andy Blaine, and he's...
Jenny, we've been all over this. I told you not an
Dad,
hour
do we have
ago.
anything
Are you two quarreling? Am I in the way? I just as soon go somewhere else.
Oh, no.
Well, all right, then pretend he isn't here. I want to hear more about Charlie Adams.
Oh, Mother, he's dull. He isn't interesting, but Andy's so wonderful. He's cynical, I guess.
Oh, the casual kind?
Yes,
The kind you can't make a dent in?
that's it.
Oh, I know. You feel like you gotta get your hands into a man like that or lose your self-respect.
And she makes everyone else seem wishy-washy.
Jennifer, once and for all, I absolutely forbid you to see Andy Blaine.
Oh, my goodness, you're enough to deafen anybody. Forbid her why?
Why? Because I'm her father.
Well, then why do you quarrel with her? I should think you'd be interested in your daughter's problems. If I had a daughter like that, I'd be interested.
Jennifer, you're to have nothing more to do with Andy Blaine.
Dad thinks he can stop me by bullying.
Oh, I know. My mother does the same thing. She keeps talking about the family background, as if it had a ghost of a chance against the living. Do you have trouble with your mother, too?
My mother? You're my mother!
Oh, yeah, I must try to remember that.
Oh, Irene!
See how he's sweet. Just ignore him. Now, I know just how you feel about a man like this. There's two men I know, or knew, Anyway, Tommy Barker, he's one of those. He drives around in a Stutz Bearcat and wears a raccoon coat, and he's pretty irresistible. And then there's this Bugs Cherry. He's dull but faithful, you know? Comes around with candy and sits and looks at me.
Bugs Cherry?
Yeah, you know him?
I'm Bugs Cherry.
Oh, well, my goodness. Then I guess I picked the dull one.
Jennifer, you go to your room.
Don't you do it. You go for a drive with Charlie Adams if you want to.
I think I will. He really can't do anything, can he?
Look here, Jen. Elizabeth, I know you're not yourself.
Oh, yes, I am. I know me better than you do.
But if you can't stop talking before Jennifer like that, you'll just have to stop talking to her altogether.
Who are you to tell me what I may and may not do?
Got any answer to that one?
No. I guess not. Guess not.
I'm your father-in-law.
Oh, you live here too?
Yep.
Have I got a mother-in-law?
Nope.
Did she die?
Yep.
Yeah, they tell me my father died too.
Yep. Nice fellow, your pa.
Yeah, he was. Do you live here because you're broke?
No, own the place.
Oh, well, do we live here because we're broke?
No.
Well, then why?
Hey,
Why?
doggone it, Elizabeth. Nothing suits me like plain speaking, but you got me back in the corner. I ain't gonna say a thing.
You'd be lonely, wouldn't you?
I would not, as far as anyone would notice.
Don't you think it would be better if you weren't quite so brave?
Who's that?
Your mother.
Oh.
No. No. I must go to her. Come to me, Elizabeth. Let me.
I thought you said she collapsed.
She did.
Well, why doesn't she stay collapsed?
Oh, that cold stare. It cuts. I've been through a great deal, but this.
What's she been through?
Been through 24 hours a day.
She takes them hard, huh?
You've been listening to that wicked old man. I know how mean he can be, but I'm forced to remain here where I'm not wanted.
Forced to remain here. She poor?
No, she got lots of money. The old lady's tight.
Oh, wait now. You mean stingy tight or tipsy tight?
Got a house full of antiques. Worth a fortune if she let go.
Let go of my lovely old things. Oh!
Oh, don't carry on so. If you're stingy, why, you're stingy. Lots of people are stingy.
Stingy? Frugal. That's what it is. Frugal. All of the carpenters are frugal. It's an early American virtue, and
Why don't you go upstairs to your room?
You could lie up there and suffer. Won't that be nice?
Yes. Yes. I think you're right. I'm not strong enough. I shouldn't have come down.
I don't think I understand the people in this house.
Bet you don't. You're bucking up against a whole bunch of superstitions, I call them. Lots of fake virtues. Tying and binding. You gotta fight.
Oh, I can fight.
My golly, you gotta fight to keep a hold of yourself or they'll get you.
Not me.
Won't let them get me.
I bet you you don't.
It could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. They ain't no buckwheat flour. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweet.
What?
I say they ain't no buckwheat flour.
Oh. They ain't no buckwheat flour.
So how can we have buckwheat cakes if they ain't no buckwheat flour? How about plain wheat cakes?
Nah, I don't like wheat cakes. Why don't we have there you are.
Not me.
Here comes the
I
striptease.
believe I can go to my married sisters anytime I want to.
What's this, Vita?
It ain't no use, because I ain't gonna cream no
Oh,
eggs.
for heaven's sake, please, Vita.
What time do employment agencies stay open till?
What?
Elizabeth?
What's the matter? Didn't she say she was leaving?
Yeah, heard her myself.
Well, then we have to find another cook.
But, Miss Elizabeth, you forget, I've been with you for 19 years.
You have? Well, I don't know how I stood it.
But you think a lot of me.
I think a lot of cream days.
Elizabeth, if you just don't talk anymore, maybe I can... Vita.
Well, you know, I don't care for her singing anyhow. Why can't we just get a cook who just cooks?
If you'll only keep
Oh,
quiet.
right then, I can leave. I will go to my married sisters.
Vita.
Kind of a strange house, huh, Elizabeth?
I don't know that it's the house. I think it's the people in it.
Well, if it ever gets too much for you, you can always come out in the sun porch and see me.
What's out there besides sunshine?
Me, my bed, my icebox. I got Venetian blinds, too.
Oh, you mean so you can see out, but they can't see in?
Yep. Want to go take a look?
Sure, I want to go take a look. I want to see what you got in your icebox.
Main 266. Dr. Hollister, this is Ralph Cherry. Things are awful around here. The cook's leaving. Yeah, I know. Keep her calm. I know.
Where's Mother?
Out there.
You didn't let her go outside, did you?
Oh, she's on the porch, Dad.
Oh, if her young, impressionable mind gets influenced by your father,
Never mind my father.
such a disgraceful thing to happen to the carpenter.
Never mind the carpenter. That's what's wrong with her. Carpenter. Look at you. Green tonic. Always green tonic.
Oh, Daddy, it's nothing but sugar water and psychology.
Don't talk to me about psychology.
You know, this is good.
They haven't given me anything.
What's that?
That's my private alarm. I'm a proud member of the volunteer firemen.
You mean that thing goes off every time there's a fire?
Yep.
I never heard anything so crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, is this a private home or a lunatic asylum?
Oh, it ain't no lunatic asylum.
Well, then turn it off.
Turn it off.
That's what I said.
Oh, geez, Elizabeth. All right, I'll go down the cellar and disconnect. The way things are around this place, I couldn't get away from a fire anyway.
We've been trying to get Granddad to turn it off for years.
Who are you?
I'm your youngest daughter. Mercedes is my name.
Who ever named you that?
Grandma?
I never heard such names. Jennifer, Mercedes.
I'm probably the only one in the family who can handle a situation without emotional overtones.
Oh, you don't take after your father then.
I don't inherit from either. That's often the case with genius.
Oh, you're a genius?
Uh-huh.
Why do you wear your hair like that? Makes you look like an angry thistle.
I'm not interested in my hair. I'm going to be a scientist.
Really?
That is, I was until you betrayed me.
Oh. Can you give me the details?
Certainly, I can be perfectly objective. I asked you to send me to Chicago, and you owed me that.
Oh, but did I object to you going to Chicago? I assure you it makes no difference to me. You go right ahead and go to Chicago. Go to Kansas City, I don't care.
But I can't go unless you help me. I'm mentally very mature. You ought to encourage my bent. After all, I am your baby daughter.
We get along better if we use the emotional overtones.
You've got me all confused.
Genius doesn't get confused. I think you're a crybaby. I don't like little girls that get red in the nose. That Jennifer, she's got more zip.
Jennifer? She hasn't a brain in her head.
Well, aren't you disagreeable? You say you're a genius. like a genius. And so far, you haven't said anything sounds like genius to me.
There's no use in talking to you.
Certainly not if you can't be objective.
I can't do be objective.
Well, it looks like you're going to have a fit.
I'm not going to have a fit. I'm not.
What's the matter?
Mother, she thinks I haven't got a brain. But I have too got a brain. I've got a brain enough to see if I'm acting as if I didn't have a brain.
It's the strangest thing, but every time I open my mouth, people scream and run away.
Yes? They're not used to dealing with Betty Stiles.
No,
How are you feeling?
well, I feel just fine.
No headaches? Not trouble about anything? No anxiety?
No, why should I be anxious?
Oh, I don't know. Memory's such a funny thing. You know that psychology course we took at Paxton Hall?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I seem to remember that most amnesiacs are anxious and bewildered and worried about who they are.
Oh, I know who I am.
Yes, you're Betty Stiles.
Yep. Losing your memory is very peaceful. It's just like taking a lovely pill.
You know, it's really amazing. But I think that just yesterday we were...
Yesterday. I don't remember yesterday.
No. Cigarette?
Yeah.
Have I lost my cigarette case? Oh dear, I'm sure I put it. It was the funniest thing. Do you remember when we were in the drugstore?
Yeah.
Here it is. I have it. Betty, that was yesterday.
What are you doing with a cigarette case? We're not supposed to smoke. Well, of course, although we did.
Confused.
A little.
Betty, that was yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I remember exactly. It said 84 pounds, and you were furious. You were trying to gain.
84 pounds?
Yeah, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
Betty, that was a long, long time ago.
Well, I'm so fond of you, Irene. You're so bright, so cheerful, so eager to know things, so nosy.
Good Lord. I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
Betty Stiles.
Good evening, Miss Oliver. Where is she? Oh, Elizabeth, I came the moment I had a moment.
Somebody better tell me who this is real quick.
Oh, this is Harriet.
Harriet?
She doesn't remember her old friend.
Hello, Harriet. Come to see the circus?
I see nothing funny in the spectacle of mental disorder. Well, isn't mine really gone?
Her mind's not gone.
Well,
Oh, excuse me. How are you, Harriet? Everything's so mixed up around here.
Hello. Oh, Harriet.
good evening, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
What are you laughing at?
This is my son, I suppose.
Your son. My God, then it's true.
Yes, Mother, this is Andy Blaine. He says that you're giving him money for a boat.
Money.
What?
I know it was supposed to be a secret, but when she told me you had forgotten everything.
Secret? Between you and me?
Yes. I'm gonna charter a boat and go into trade in the West Indies.
Schooner?
Sounds fascinating.
What schooner? What are you talking about?
Now, wait a minute. What is this between you and me?
I'm your partner, Andy Blaine.
Oh, my partner.
Ah, partners, I'm beginning to understand.
Understand? What do you mean?
Elizabeth must have been in the car with Andrew. She must have been partners, indeed.
Say, I saw him kiss her myself.
What?
Yep.
I don't believe it.
Well, don't you know?
Did you kiss me?
Sure I did.
You kissed my wife?
To seal the bargain.
Well, it was to seal the bargain.
I better punch you writing a note?
Dad, he kisses a lot. It doesn't mean a thing.
It doesn't.
Why wasn't I told about this?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh my God, every time I almost get my hands on some money, something happens.
No wonder she doesn't remember. Her guilty conscience has created this whole aberration.
I told you, she was only giving me your money.
Dad, he wasn't in the car with Mother.
I don't know what you're talking
In the
about.
first place. Now, wait a minute. You don't live here, do you?
No,
Then you go home.
I shall certainly do so.
Now, what's this about me and the schooner?
You really don't remember anything about giving me the money?
No, I don't. How much was I going to give you?
$1,500?
Ooh, have I got that much money?
Yes?
Then it's a deal.
Oh, Mother, this is so sweet of you to do this for me.
Wait a minute, Jenny, she isn't doing it for you, she's doing it for me.
I'm doing it for myself.
She isn't doing it at all.
But that's all settled.
It's not settled. What the hell's been going on around here? Now look here, Blaine. First I find you making up to Jennifer. Then Harriet hangs around. Now you tell me you're partners with my wife in some crazy scheme. Well, I won't have
And
it.
try not to shout.
I will shout. Now, Mr. Blaine, if you will kindly leave.
It's your house, Mr. Cherry.
Oh, wait a minute. If this is his house, and he's going to talk like that, we'll all leave.
Darling, I want to talk to you alone.
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to him. He looks more interesting.
Anyway, I know a nice quiet place where we can talk over a couple of
Oh,
drinks.
you do?
Johnny's.
Johnny?
Johnny, see here, you can't go out.
Why not?
You're tired.
I am not. You dance, Mr. Blaine?
Oh, Mother, he does a wonderful conga.
Conga?
And they got a jukebox, too.
Jukebox?
Yes!
Look, darling, I don't mean to lose my temper. I certainly don't mean to drive you out of your house. I know you're not yourself. Why can't we have a drink here?
I think it'd be quieter at Johnny's.
I won't shout anymore. I'm honest.
Well, you promise to behave yourself.
I promise.
All right, then. Jenny, what shall we have to drink?
What will you have, Mother?
Well, I don't know. What are you having?
I'm not allowed to drink at home.
What nonsense. If you're allowed to drink at Johnny's place, then why not here?
A highball, then. Andy? Oh, I know. Hey, Dad, can I get something for you?
Oh, don't bother about me. I'm going to get my bottle of Applejack.
I'll be right back.
So you and Jennifer have been seeing a lot of each other.
Yeah, she's a sweet kid.
She is. I think she's awfully pretty.
Me too. Of course, I like character in a woman's face.
You do? Like mine, of course.
Like yours.
Oh, thank you. How old are you?
33?
How old am I?
I don't think I know.
Oh, well, when you said character, I thought I must be getting along.
No, I meant what I said. You really are very pretty.
But you don't have to say those things. I'm going to give you the money.
Doesn't hurt though, does it?
No, it doesn't. Maybe you owe me $1,500 worth of compliments.
It's about the way I figure it.
And I'm going to collect, too. I believe in having as much fun as possible, don't you?
I hope they're strong enough.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. Well, this calls for a toast. Here's to fair weather and fair winds.
And a fair return on your investment.
How long will it take to get the schooner ready?
Well, first we have to charter it, then about a week for outfitting, and we'll be ready to go.
Ah, where are you going? The West Indies sound so vague.
I've got it all charted. I'll bring you the maps.
Oh, Mother, it's a wonderful adventure. Far-off places, strange ports, and strange people in bright-colored clothes.
And I'll send you a picture postcard from every port.
Send me a postcard? But I thought I was going with you.
What? I never said, don't forget, I'm a lone wolf.
Well, I know you never really said it right out, but the way we talked about it.
It's all in her mind, Mrs. Cherry. I assure you, I never had any
Don't worry
idea.
about Mother. She understands.
Who's the captain of this boat?
I am. I'll be sailing under your orders. You're putting up the money.
That's right. Sailing to far-off places, tropical moonlight ports. I wonder how I'd look in a sarong.
Huh?
Mother!
can't. Well, Jennifer, I'm sorry, but if you want to go to the West Indies, by all means, you do so. But you have to get your own boat and your own Andy Blake.
Wait,
Because I imagine he and the boat come in one package.
now wait a minute.
Mother, this is Andy Blaine, don't you remember? The one that we talked about.
The cynical one?
Yes,
The casual kind?
that's it.
The kind you can't make a dent in?
Yes, Mother.
Well, I'm sorry, Jennifer, but you'll have other chances. This may be my last one.
Aunt, you can't let her do this. She isn't well. You're not going to make a fool out of her.
Of course he is, and I'm looking forward to it. Well, it's better than him making a fool of both of us.
What?
Dad, she said she's going.
Who's going? Going where?
Mother, to the West Indies with Andy Blaine.
Oh, Elizabeth, you can't do that.
I could too, couldn't I, Andy?
You're the captain.
He says I'm the captain.
You're a respectable married woman with a family.
Well, I don't feel respected.
Dad, do something.
I feel like going to the
Blaine,
West Indies.
you can't take advantage of a situation like this. You know that she's not herself.
Mother must be crazy to think of it.
She's not crazy. My God, maybe she is.
Oh.
Elizabeth, you can't do a thing like this.
See how they scream? Everybody screams. It's very strange. I'm going to bed.
Yes, dear. Yes, that's a good idea.
Good night. Will I see you in the morning?
Sure, you're going to bring the maps?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, partner.
Good night, everybody. Where do I sleep? In the mustardy room?
Well, yes. I guess I better turn in myself.
Oh, no need to bother.
No, that's all right. I'm kind of worn out myself. You know, darling, if you don't like that must-be wallpaper, I can do it over.
Oh, you're a paper hanger. I didn't know that.
Good night, Blaine. Jenny will show you out. I need another drink.
Good night.
What's the matter?
Nothing, but I think you'd better go. All you want here is my mother's money.
Well, hold on.
Playing up to her just to make sure of your precious boat. And if you think I'm jealous, you're quite wrong. I can see exactly what you're doing. And I think it's horrible the way you're making her act like a silly romantic.
Awful? What's so awful about it? You just think it's awful because you've never seen her as she really is.
But she really isn't like this.
How would you know? I don't suppose you've ever looked at her as if she was a woman. All you know about her is what she's done for you. You've never really seen her. I think she's marvelous. I think she's swell.
I know what you think. Good night.
Good night, Jen, and hope you feel better in the morning.
Granddad, he's just making a fool out of her.
Who?
Andy Blaine.
Want to bet?
It isn't funny at all when it's mother.
Good-looking woman. Knows how to speak up, too. I like her fine myself, don't you?
I love my mother.
That ain't what I'm talking about. What do you think about this here Betty Stiles?
What? Good night, Dad.
Night, Jenny. Going to bed, son?
Yes.
Well, so long. Well, so long.
So long, Vita. Happy days.
Certainly hope you folks make out all right.
Better go the long way. They say there's a prowler out on Washington Avenue.
Even prowl around me, he'll wish he ain't. Who's gonna get your breakfast?
Eh?
Who's gonna cook your breakfast?
I don't know. There's three of us that ain't. Nor you, nor me, nor Elizabeth. Camping out?